Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition Thin Blood Chronicle, or not so Thin Blood Chronicle. Are we dead yet? This is Season 2, Episode 6, Can This Be Forever? Let's meet our vampires, starting with Az. Sorry, did not see you were drinking out of a mug.
No, because I usually don't. I'm second usually. Sorry,
Usually.
Hi, I'm Az. I'm going to be playing Sawyer Jameson, one of the definitely still a Thin Bloods.
Mm-hmm.
I'm as I was on all the social medias because I think I'm funny. Something like that. Okay, next.
End of sentence. Luna?
Hi, I'm Luna, or Druidbynight, whichever you prefer. I'm going to be playing the not-so-Tremere light anymore, full-fat Tremere, Theodora. And you can find me at Druidbynight on Twitch and TikTok and Twitter. You should do that. That's me.
We should do that. Ramos?
Hello, I'm Gilbert Ramos, found everywhere at Ramonsthenomad. Today I'll be playing Ramón Flores. Everyone's... Shit, I was doing so good. I'm so sorry. Next, please. Hello.
Pass. And last but certainly not least, we welcome back Vyn.
Oh my gosh, hi guys. I'm Vyn at VynVoxVA on Twitter, and I'll be playing Tex, which the T stands for Thin Blood, surprisingly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Sawyer's finally not alone anymore. As always, this is a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition actual play. We've gone over our safety and our consent, but please check in with yourselves because your safety and well-being is important to all of us who are playing. Now, if you're ready, let's head back to the beach. Forever means infinite, without end, an eternal and everlasting existence. Vampires are said to last forever, moving through the eons of time, static and unchanging. However, it's important to note that in practical terms, the idea of something lasting forever is not feasible, as everything eventually comes to an end. And in the world of darkness, the end feels closer every night. Right now, all of you are waiting inside Caitlin Longhorn's sleek black Escalade, which you stole from her tonight, after successfully staking her down with the help of Victoria the Gangrel. You have driven your coterie mate Ruby to Stella's Haven, where Esther is being kept, in order for Ruby to spend one last night with her fiancé, before Anthony erases her mind of their relationship and Esther's experiences here on the Grand Strand. As you watch Ruby and Stella share a few quick words, Stella, her auburn hair in a high ponytail, practically skips over to the driver's side where you are, Sawyer, and taps on your closed window.
Roll down the window. Hi, Stella.
Hey, Ruby sort of gave me the skinny of what happened to y'all.
I don't think there's much that's skinny about it, but yeah.
Yeah. I honestly can't tell you what Hunter or Anthony or Astrid or Galen's reaction is going to be, but I feel like y'all could use a little bit of fun before the sun comes up. And I know that you're probably worried about what's ever's going on with Frankie, but there just ain't the time. And there ain't the manpower not available right now. That'll have to be for tomorrow night. So let's get our minds off of it. I know a great place. It's called the Wet Spot.
Okay, are you coming with?
Yeah,
Or...
you just follow me. I'll jump in my car.
Okay, I was gonna say we can make route. Well, actually, this is... Yeah, no, we'll follow you.
And Stella leans in and looks back at you, Ramón, who is sitting in the back seat. If you'll let me, when we get there, I'll help you blend in a little bit more.
Yeah, that would be great, actually.
All right, so y'all follow me. We're going to Cherry Grove Beach. She hops in her car, starts pulling out of her driveway. Stella lives in a very nice home. It's one of those McMansions that don't look very aesthetically pleasing on the outside, but it is new and nice and big. Sawyer, do you follow?
Yep, Sawyer's gonna be all like, all right, let's what spot, everybody? That's the
interesting
names
name.
of these places
Mm-hmm.
in this. but we're gonna have a good night, right? We're gonna just relax and breathe on my part, and it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
What's an awareness,
Absolutely.
Sawyer?
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
As you're backing out.
All right. Okay. What hunger are we at again?
Years at 1, because you had your fill of Theo's blood.
Okay. What's awareness?
Mm-hmm.
You got this.
Caitlin's windows are well tinted.
That is 5 successes.
Mm-hmm. So, as you're backing out, even without any bright lights here, this is a suburban area where Stella lives, you see someone right behind your car. They weren't there when you started pulling out, but they're there when you get to the end of the driveway. And it is Tex.
Holy shit!
What?
Like Sawyer throws the car in a park. Let Stella know where it's gonna be a minute. Tex! And like they get out of the car.
Oh,
Tex, you have sidestepped out of the weird, focusing on your friends. And this is where you appear. You have no idea where you are. You hear Sawyer screaming your name. And the only thing in your hand is that drawing that you got out of Lou's place.
I will also get out of the car when I realize what's happening.
okay. Should I? Is it safe to ask questions now, or should I?
We can. How about in the car? How about in
Yeah.
the car? Like
Yeah,
I just Sawyer just wraps their arms around Tex and just
Oh, of course.
squeezes.
Like it is
Just like-
instantly reciprocated.
I'm so
Right.
glad you're okay.
Tex, you gather from Sawyer's reaction that you must have been gone for a long time. For you, 15 minutes tops.
Okay. They're just gonna keep that somewhere else. Gonna repackage it and open it later. Us car, right? Yeah. Let's
course,
just.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna get in the car. Don't freak out when you see Ramón, okay?
Why would you phrase it like that? That is not
Because
real.
he's
Looks different.
he's a little sensitive about it.
Mhm.
But it's he's gonna be okay.
It's still him. That's the
still him.
important part.
It's still him. We for sure know it's still him. And Theo, still Theo. Ruby's. This makes no sense to you. Let's get in the car because Stella's gonna get pissed if we're too late.
Okay.
It's gonna be okay, man. You and I are gonna be okay.
I
Okay?
am. Okay.
Take the get in the car. And so Sawyer is gonna kind of lead Tex open the back.
As you open the back, Ramón, what does Tex see sitting back there?
Tex would see Ramón, a version of him. Features are very, very changed. He's got long ears now, large like a bat's. His nose is stunted. Again, very similar to a bat. His hair is gone, and he's a bit wrinkled. You can kind of see veins running through his head. He is, for lack of a better term, much like the old school Nas. He's grotesque, and you can see that he's sees the door open. He puts his hood up. He's got Sawyer's beanie covering his ears and covering a good portion of his head, but it's very clear he's nothing like he used to be.
Are you okay?
Hi.
I'm sorry. I was given a lot preface, and now
No,
if-
it's
yeah.
It's fine. I'm glad you're safe. I'm alive. Oh wow.
Yeah, that's all I can ask for. Honestly, I'm
We missed you.
glad to be back. I miss
We
Del
did.
too, like so much.
We have so much to catch
I
up
think
on.
I'm gonna. Actually, I think I'm just gonna take everything as a blank slate. I'm glad to see everybody, and I'm glad to see all of us in one piece. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. I think that's a great way to place it. And we have years, hopefully, to just learn bit by bit, I guess.
Okay, if that's
That's fine.
we can do that. Okay, let's go to the wet spot.
Are you good?
I'm good as y'all comparatively. Well, how long was I gone?
It's been like 3 nights.
Oh,
Yeah, it's been a few
Yeah.
days.
it felt like minutes since I. Okay. Okay. I'm so happy to see y'all. Just gonna let that go.
I'm happy you're okay.
Great.
For sure.
Me too.
Hex, you also see that Ruby is not with you in the car.
Okay. I'm gonna go back and forth between that. Where's Ruby?
She's saying goodbye.
To Esther.
Okay. She's not. Okay, we're saying goodbye as in like a formal goodbye, not like a funeral goodbye, right?
No,
Yeah, no.
Esther's gonna be fine.
Okay.
Esther's gonna be fine.
Okay.
Esther's just kind of reach out and grab Theo's hand and squeeze it while we're trying to catch up to Stella.
Yeah. Theo will, of course, react in kind. Look over at Sawyer and give him a slight nod.
Hex, do you have the drawing visible? It was in your hands when you reappeared out of the weird.
I think like during all the hellos and hugs and whatnot, he kind of stashed in the pocket.
As a point of reference, the picture to you, to your eyes, looks alive. You could see, when you look at it, clouds move, the moon moving above it. Feel the house, see the house rock. If you listen very closely, you hear someone screaming. You don't know if your friends see the same thing when they look at it. You know your eyes and your senses don't operate the way that they used to before you died.
And that's why we'll deal with all of that. Not right now.
As you drive, you're driving farther south on the Grand Strand than you have been since you have been here. And this part of the beach looks a little bit more quaint, a little bit more quiet. You don't see a whole lot of big clubs and businesses and bright neon lights inviting you to head to this strip club or to go to this show. This is just a little bit nicer. You think maybe it's a little bit more gentrified than the downtown area. But it is still bustling. There are still people here who are getting ice cream and who are renting mopeds and riding them around the main street. And Stella pulls out onto a parking lot that is connected to a beach and a long pier. And from your car, the pier seems to go forever into the ocean. You're sure that it doesn't. But Stella hops out and she just points at you all inside the car towards the pier.
Sawyer's gonna. We gotta work on the whole what we look like when we go out in public thing again. We might have some better clothes in the back.
I mean, yeah. No, you're right.
Sawyer's gonna take off like the outer shirt that's still got like the rips and tears in it from being flung around by the tentacles.
And shot.
And shot.
I'm gonna head into the trunk and see what's in there.
Yeah, gonna see if there's anything in there.
Let's make this luck based.
Okay.
Let's try a wits awareness roll. See what you find. Theo, if you'd like to change as well, you can also do that. Ramón, as Tex, of course, you as well, unless you are comfortable with what Tex is wearing. I don't think Tex got their clothes injured in any way.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think...
Tex and oh yeah, you want to look for clothes?
Oh, by all means, what were you saying? I apologize.
I was gonna say Stella is going to approach Tex and Ramón if Ramón is not looking for clothes.
I'm not looking for clothes. I'm very comfortable in the hoodie that was just bought for me.
Stella, of course, you remember Tex came with Anthony the night that they removed Morgan's body from the hotel, and she looks surprised to see you. Oh, I would have said hi. I didn't even see you in the car. Hi.
Hi. You're fine.
Ramón, do you want me to make you look a little bit more presentable? I mean, you don't have to. It's not like we're going somewhere where you're not going to be welcome. Kind of.
I mean,
just don't tell anybody what you did.
Yeah. How would that work?
I can make your ears the right size, and I can sort of jut your nose out a little bit. Can't really do anything about the skin tone, but it won't last. You'll wake up tomorrow night the way you are.
I think I'd really like that. Just for the night.
I don't know if it hurts, because it doesn't hurt when I do it on myself.
Doesn't matter.
But I don't know if it hurts other people. Ooh, a critical success. Surprising. So, Tex, as Sawyer and Theo are busy, you watch Stella run her hands gently around Ramón's head and face. And as she does so, you see that she focuses a little bit more pressure, a little bit more time around the ears, nose, and eyes. And as she moves her hands away, Ramón's ears no longer look bat-like, grotesque. They look perfectly ordinary, save for the color, sort of grayish-greenish tint. She pulls on your nose as if she's playing the got your nose joke on you. And you can hear and feel, Ramón, the bones in your nose pull out slightly. It's uncomfortable, doesn't feel right. But you have a nose again. And you look like someone who maybe has jaundice or is ill, but you do not look like you're wearing a movie monster mask. Well, that's the best I can do. I'm sorry. I'm not a professional like Anthony is.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't have anything to give you hair.
That's fine. Thank you. Thank you a lot.
That's sort of what my clan is known for. What about you, Tex? You want any cosmetic surgery for the night?
I think I'm good.
Are you sure? I think sometimes it's fun to give myself extra fingers.
It's appreciated. Thanks.
Alrighty. Theo and Sawyer, what have you found or not found?
Sawyer got 3 successes.
I crit with a 5.
Mm-hmm. So you find several very nice outfits here. Sawyer, you know that Morgan started dressing a lot nicer after Caitlin Longhorn took over the office. And now that you're starting to get the feeling that Caitlin was dressing her or forcing her how she should dress. So you see several very nice clothing options. And I would think with those rolls, whatever you are looking for, you will find. What would you like to be wearing?
I think Sawyer's gonna find like some sort of like more dark button-up.
Mm-hmm.
Something that looks like a little bit more on the warm side, just in case things start leaking. something that's a little bit thicker.
Mhm.
And yeah, put that on to cover up the bullet holes and the scratches. Long sleeves.
Yes, you can find a nice button-up Burberry. It's a little bit thicker padded on the inside. Black, jet black. What about you, Theo?
Definitely something more on the dark academia side of things.
You can find
probably-
what I think fashion industry people call the little black dress.
Oh, perfect.
Anything else?
No, something minimalistic, I think, for tonight.
Find a little black dress and maybe a white blouse that you could wear under it.
Perfect, yes.
All right. So as you two quickly change, with very well concealed by the large trunk of the Escalade, Stella's getting a little bit impatient. She's like, "Come on, y'all. We have 90 minutes before we got to get the hell out of here, and I want to, I want to have a little bit of fun. I haven't had any time to have any fun, and I don't have a coterie to have fun with. So you're my proxy for tonight. You're my ersatz coterie for tonight."
What is this place, Stella?
It's owned by a friend of mine. He's a gangrel. Is that it? Can we go?
Sure. I didn't really answer my question, really, but yeah, let's go.
Well, it's a long walk on the pier. It's all the way at the end of the pier in the ocean.
That's
Okay.
wet spot.
Now it makes sense.
Now it all comes
Perfect.
together. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure his raccoon named it, but if you say so.
His raccoon. Oh God.
Where?
Double check that Baron Squeakers is still in my pocket.
Baron Squeakers is in your pocket as long as you wish Baron Squeakers to be there.
Forever, for eternity. He's my.
He is yours to command.
I love him so much.
Sawyer's just
Yes, Tex, you notice at the mention of someone having a raccoon, you notice that Ramon starts feeling around in his pockets, and you hear peep, 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 peep coming from his pocket. Little squeaking noises.
Tex, this is Baron Squeakers. I'm gonna pull out this little field mouse.
Oh my goodness.
Amidst all the bullshit we've been through while you've been gone, Baron Squeakers is the best thing that has ever happened to me. And I love him
I was about to say,
so much.
that is the purest light I've ever seen in this overwhelming darkness. Squeakers.
Squeaker says to you, Ramon, "New friend have food?"
He wants to know if you have food.
I haven't carried. I'm so sorry, Barrett. I don't have any.
We're gonna.
But Tex, you do have food. You have sugar
I do.
cubes.
Oh, I will not. This is World of Darkness. I can't do that.
As you wish. So, as you all follow Stella down the pier, Baron Squeaker safely secured in Ramon's front pocket.
God bless.
Stella's excitedly talking about the wet spot. Yeah, I used to come here all the time when I was... And then she stops and pauses. I used to come here all the time. And these people are my friends, kind of, sort of. I didn't really get to know him that well, but I really like Nolan, who owns the place. He's super nice.
So is it friends, like with quotation, kind of like more acquaintance, or is the frenemies, I believe is the term that people...
No, it's nothing
use?
like that. It's nothing like that. It's complicated. You've never been Cam, so it's complicated.
Cammy.
Like Cammy's?
Camarilla?
Camarilla.
Yeah.
Camarilla.
So this is technically a Camarilla place.
Are we?
You guys aren't?
Stella, are we? Is this an ambush? Are we getting murdered?
You really think I'd tell you that this is a Camarilla place and then spring them on you now? I'd be a little bit more covert about it.
Oh my God.
Fair enough.
Okay.
It's really complicated. If you really want to know my story, buy me a drink. They have they sell blood behind the bar here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that is if no one's gotten any supply, if you haven't completely ruined the circulatory system here in Myrtle Beach.
We'll fix that. It's on the list. It's on the list of. I really gotta call on.
You're gonna learn real quickly that list never gets any shorter.
Yeah, that's.
I'm seeing that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of growing at this point. Like.
When it
Yeah.
stops growing, that's when you need to worry. And Stella holds the door open for all of you. It's a push door. After you.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. And
Just enter after Sawyer.
What you see when you enter the wet spot, it's a place that's not particularly large. It is a little bit daunting because it is covered in windows. And from every corner, all you can see is open ocean. And then, of course, the pier that you came from. There is a story above you as you walk in that is just a balcony. You can go up there to watch the dancers on the dance floor, or you can watch the ocean, watch the sunrise, perhaps. Place is decorated not how you would expect. Most places here in Myrtle Beach have been pirate themed, or nautical themed, or palm tree themed, but this place is simply nice. There's velvet couches, rosewood furniture. Everything is brass and gold plated. And you feel and are very aware that the Camarilla must be what human parlance would call the 1%ers. You see a person behind the bar straight away. It's a young man with curly brown hair, and he looks like when he died, he definitely had gotten a tan beforehand. Someone is up on stage. Looks like that they are a singer. They're wearing a tangerine-colored dress with red hair, but they are not singing at the moment. And from this vantage point, that is all you can see.
Huh. This is really nice.
This is real snazzy.
this is my kind of place. So
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Are you sure we're supposed to be here? I feel underdressed, first of all, and I just I don't know.
I would like everyone to make me a rouse check, please.
Okay.
Perfect. We're good.
Success.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hungry.
Of course you are. Sawyer is always hungry. What about you, Tex?
Oh, 8. I'm good.
Okay. So, Sawyer, when you walk in, and boy, does it make the thematic sense that a place as ritzy-ditzy as this would make you hungry. You're like, man, maybe I should be with the Camarilla. Just if they got these kind of digs with these kind of eats, that's nice.
Yeah, okay. The cam can't be this bad if they've got a place like this. Maybe I don't. You guys want to get a drink?
Sawyer, this is literally everything that Ruby is like trying to burn down.
I know. We the whole eat the rich thing. I mean, we're gonna say it balances out.
I won't tell Ruby you said this, but I'm just saying. I feel like you shouldn't mention this to her. I feel like
Keep that inside.
we're all gonna get in trouble for just
Deep
being
down.
here. She's gonna yell at us. She's gonna mom friend us real bad.
We're gonna get yelled at about extravagance and distribution of wealth and how but in the meantime, how about I buy you all a drink?
In the meantime, as you're talking, someone comes up to you. It is a man who is wearing no shirt, simply a bow tie, and a pair of satin shorts. And he's holding a tray full of several different things. Drink. Could I interest you in a drink?
Yes.
I'm okay for right now.
Yeah,
Bottle
I'm
fresh.
Is Stella still with us?
No, Stella's gone to the bar.
God damn it, Stella.
She did say, buy me a drink if you want to know my story.
Fresh help.
Yeah, no, fresh sounds good.
He smiles. And he says, Nolan can help you with that.
Cool.
Perfect, thank you. No, Nolan. Sawyer's gonna kind of point to the person at the bar. No, Nolan?
He smiles and nods, starts walking away.
I guess we should meet Nolan.
Let's go meet Nolan and buy Stella a drink, and then we can maybe watch the performer later.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
As you head toward the bar, you suddenly are aware of a couple more people who are in here. One of whom is, you are not sure who they are, what they are. They are dressed in, it looks as if a Met Gala LARP is about to break out at any moment. They are dressed completely avant-garde with a cherub mask on their face, the rest of themselves completely covered up in different fabrics, flowing and tight. They are lounging on one of the settees, one of the chaise lounges here, and they are surrounded by several people, all dressed very similarly, who are just fawning over them, leaning on them, laughing, talking to them, and this person on the chaise lounge is eating it up. They are loving this attention. Another person you see, someone dressed much more casually like the rest of you. They are set up in one of the dark corners. They have a red bandana on their head, and they're wearing just casual shorts and a t-shirt. And they seem to be telling fortunes using a Ouija board. And they have a few people there gathered talking to them.
Theo eyes will linger as she's walking by. Interesting.
You want to go talk to him later?
Maybe later.
Is the plan to all
Yeah.
go to the bar? Or does anyone want to break off from the group?
Sawyer's gonna go to the bar because
Bar.
hungry.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think the bar first, and then
Stella's already there. She's sat on one of the bar stools, and she's chatting up this person who you assume is Nolan. He's also dressed very casually with a jean jacket and jean pants and a wife beater. And he says, "So, you the friends of Stella?"
that's us. Nolan, I presume.
Nice to meet you. I guess I'm supposed to ask you your clans, but since you're new and not Cammy's, at least haven't seen you around Elysium, I guess we can waive that for tonight.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna ask. What is Elysium?
Thank you.
Oh, yes. I wanted to know that too.
Shit, Stella. Where do you find these people? Elysium is a safe place. It's, when we gather, when we want to, talk shop, so to speak, no harm will come to you. This is one of the Elysia of Myrtle Beach.
We have safe spaces. Like we have like full like. I don't need to be worried or like. Is that a cam thing?
Traditionally. And the Cam love traditions.
Cool. Cool. Sorry, I'm gonna process for a second, guys.
We're just gonna pat Ramón on the back.
So, what can I do for you? What can I interest you in? What can I tell you anything about this place or about Myrtle Beach or why you should be in the Camarilla or why ask you why you aren't? I am
this like
at your service.
is this like a timeshare sales pitch? We get a drink, you tell us to join your club kind of thing?
Oh, believe me,
Yeah.
it ain't up to me if you can join.
Fair enough.
Who is it up to?
That would be the prince.
And who's that?
name is Dean Preston, Clan Tremere. He's a little busy right now. We sort of got caught in the crossfire of this fucking Anarch Sabbat war going on. So he's a little busy.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All the gas leaks.
And he doesn't know what you're talking about.
Cool. So is it like a normal kind of bar situation, money for a drink, or is it favors?
You're in Elysia. If you need a drink, it's provided by the prince.
Okay, that's
kind.
I guess that is generous.
I gotta be honest, that you might not be in charge of like letting people join, but you're selling it really fucking well, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I always thought I'd be a good salesperson.
If you don't mind me asking, who is the and then like, they're making a gesture towards the fawning chairs,
Mm-hmm.
trying to find the right words and failing.
Yeah. He smiles. You can see one of his wickedly long fangs. That's Olivia. Clan Nosferatu. She's what we call, in the biz, a scene queen.
Okay.
Interesting.
Indulge me. I'm sorry. What does that mean?
She is part of a, what do you call it? A subculture. It's some sort of artsy-fartsy, fancy fashion art thing. It's not really my bag, my jam. But she has a ton of followers who think that she's so great. And they're called her herd. They're her food and her passion.
Okay. Sing Queen fan club. Her
That actually
got
makes
it.
sense.
Not for me. I prefer my juice out of a bag, if you know what I'm saying.
Dope. I mean, yes, but that's I'm not about that. I've figured out.
Speaking of Sawyer, did you need something?
Yeah, I definitely would like a drink.
What can I offer you?
I honestly don't know how to order this. You have something that's on the rich side?
top
No one
shelf.
knows. Top shelf. God, I hate this. We can never let Ruby know.
No, definitely not.
You want the blood of someone who's in their own particular tax bracket, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, they've made the tax bracket. They own the tax bracket. They don't have to pay taxes because they've
Someone
made
who's
their own tax
definitely
bracket.
committing tax fraud.
Yeah, definitely.
He reaches down under the bar, pulls out something that looks like a very old wine bottle. It's got dust on it. It has a cork in it that's been melted on with candle wax. Pulls it out. It's very strong. The wax cracks and breaks. Brings out one of those large red wine glasses. Pours it halfway full.
Thank you. So he's gonna kind of pick it up, sniff it real quick because they don't want to see it.
It doesn't just smell good. It doesn't just smell rich. It smells old money rich.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nolan. Sip it, and then just keep drinking.
Mm-hmm. It's delicious. Divine, you would say. It's a good vintage, I've heard. Not to my taste, though. As you drink, Sawyer, all of you hear that music has begun playing. It's some sort of slowed down jazz version of Paralyzer by Finger 11. And The woman gets up on stage. She has her microphone in her shiny, sparkly tangerine dress. She begins singing. And with 10 successes, everyone resolve in composure, please. Don't worry, it won't hurt you.
I got 8 with a crit. I don't know why I'm rolling so well today. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So I got 4.
Also got
okay.
4.
3.
Oh, Ramón. Okay,
Oh.
so
Oh. No.
as this woman starts singing, Theo, you think she has a really nice voice. It's very soothing. It's one of those whiskey-soaked voices. You can tell she's clearly practiced at it. Sawyer, Tex, and Ramón, however, you notice attention immediately drawn to this person. Drawn so much so that they all sort of simultaneously leave the bar and they want to go over to the small tables nearby where the podium is, where she's singing, the platform where she's singing from. This is amazing. You don't think you've ever heard singing this good. You don't think that singing this good is possible without auto-tune, without, a whole team behind them making them sound this good. But she's singing with nothing more than one of those little recorders in the back, one of those old-style boom boxes with the music behind her. And she is making you feel so at ease and so welcome. And you feel like you could spend the rest of the night watching her sing.
Guys, what? Okay.
No, come on, Theo, let's go. Just
Okay.
You certainly don't feel compelled to go, Theo. If you'd like to stay with Stella, talk to Nolan, go check out the avant-garde person, or the person doing fortunes in the corner. You notice that several of the people who were around them have also joined the rest of your coterie in listening to whoever this is singing.
I'll turn back to Nolan and be like, you know what, actually, could I just have little bit of a drink?
What is your pleasure?
I mean, I'm not particular like Sawyer, but if...
Oh, but you are particular. We all are.
I don't know, I have a knack for getting people when they're asleep, which sounds awful when you say that out loud.
No. I do have some blood laced with some sedatives.
Perfect.
Like that. He pours you a shot glass. Sorry, it's on limited supply.
Fine.
My delivery people didn't show up tonight.
Oh, who's that?
The Seacoast Medical.
Oh, I see. I'll just down the shot.
It's good. Do you require anything, Theo? Are you at 1 hunger?
Oh, yes, I'm at 1 hunger now. I was
So
at 2.
it does not take away any more hunger.
Okay.
Doesn't satiate you anymore, but it tastes good.
It's nice. Excellent.
Very smooth.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. I see your friends are really enjoying Clover singing.
Yeah, it seems unnatural.
Well, it would. She's a daughter of cacophony.
Ooh, interesting. Could you explain more?
Not really. I don't really know what they are. I just know that some people call them sirens.
Huh. May need to talk to her later. Interesting. Thank you. I think I'll go mingle.
I'll be here. And he returns to talking to Stella.
Excellent. I'd like to go to the fortune tellers. Go figure.
Mm-hmm. You may do so. The rest of you, Clover is finishing her set. You are almost disappointed that it has ended, but unfortunately it does. And as it does, you feel this sudden return of your free will to no longer have to keep your eyes on her, but also this bit of sadness that you no longer get to experience such a lovely melody.
She kind of makes me want to beat Scott Anderson's ass.
we could probably do that now. I mean, you could at least.
Like, I don't like his vocals are garbage. That was so good. Oh my god.
One of the
I mean,
better performances
just-
I've seen. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That was something.
Clover descends the stage. to look at her adoring fans, and many of them tell her how wonderful she was and ask for her autograph. She signs them. She comes over to you. Did y'all enjoy my performance?
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That
It was. We're not good with words. It was really fucking good. I'm sorry. I shouldn't.
Well, aren't you all fresh faces? I haven't seen you in here before.
Yeah, no,
Nope.
we're very new.
quite.
I
Yeah.
see. Are you petitioning to join the Ivory Tower in the city?
What's the Ivory Tower?
Oh my.
Are you a part
Well,
of it?
aren't you fresh, as you said?
Yeah.
The Camarilla is another term for it.
Oh.
Yes. You were really good. Like they should actually like have you like center stage somewhere. Which I mean, I guess that's kind of hard to do when you're kindred. That's the right word.
That's the right word.
Yep.
Well, I have a position. It's called a harpy.
Okay.
Um,
What's? I would love to hear about it. For sure, we would all would love to hear about it. Like I said,
I would love to tell you all about it when you are members of the Ivory Tower.
okay. Yeah.
Once again, just the patting Ramon on the back. Yeah,
But
no.
if any of you would like to buy me a drink, I'll be over at the bar.
Would you?
Until my next set, of course. And then you
Yeah.
can watch me sing again.
Well, yeah. When is that?
Yeah, 15, 20 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. I'll see you at the bar.
And she walks over.
That woman can do
Aren't
whatever she
you glad?
wants.
You can't blush. Like, is this the benefit?
That woman can do whatever she wants.
Now, where would you all like to go? You could follow Theo, who you see is walking over to the fortune teller. You can check out the avant-garde, Nosferatu, as Nolan said, or you can head back to the bar and see what Nolan, Stella, and now Clover are doing. You notice that Clover has grabbed her drink from the bar and she's heading up to the second floor balcony.
So Sawyer's gonna check to see where Theo is, and then
On the way to the fortune teller.
and then be like, okay, Elysia is safe, so it's okay. Get a little bit sad because it's just that weird thing that happens when blood bonds are broken, and go talk to Stella.
What about you, Tex?
I'm going against V's better judgment and going to meet the avant-garde Nos.
Mm-hmm. And Ramon?
I think. Oh god. Probably following Tex. Speak with the avant-garde Nos.
All right. Well, we will start, of course, with Theo. See this person? It's a young man with tan skin and dark eyes. He's right now using a Ouija board and attempting to communicate with a past loved one of the person sitting in front of him. And the person is very emotional and they have tissues. They're wiping their nose. And you hear him say, Your cat is very happy where they are now. You don't need to worry about where they are. They're chasing mice and living in a field, and they're very happy where they are. And the woman starts crying and thanks them. And then she holds out her hand. And the man takes it and says, "Thank you for consenting to this," and bites into her hand before drinking. The woman then says, "You're welcome." She gets up and she leaves.
Wow. That was impressive. How long have you been reading for?
8 years? Maybe longer.
Oh, I would love if you read for me.
I don't really do it for kindred.
Fair enough. Why is that?
That's just for the humans.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice cover.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Well, aren't you? I keep hearing people around me saying new and fresh. I have really good ears. And that must be you.
Oh, yeah. Well, learning quickly. Very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Do you not have any abilities to tell for yourself your own fortunes?
I don't know about fortunes, but sometimes I get hit with a really bad migraine and a lot of weird images.
Yeah. It's sort of a side effect of certain clans.
Yes.
You're not a Malkavian, are you?
No.
They get it real bad.
No. No, is it polite to say which clan that I am a part of?
In the
or-
Camarilla, it's usually a formality. It's usually it usually comes after your name.
Oh, interesting. Well, I'm not in the Camarilla, but
And you don't
Theodora.
have to tell me shit.
Oh, that's fair. But I'm Theodora, and I'd reach out my hand.
I'm Levi.
Very nice to meet you.
When he takes your hand, Theo, are you missing any willpower?
Yes.
How many are you missing?
All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
Well, my. Let's see if we can't correct that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Restore 12 points of willpower. As Levi takes your hand, you feel this very warm glow come from his hands. It seems to radiate outwards from him. And transfer over to you. Pass through your hand, into your chest, into your mind. It's very comforting and nice. And you feel suddenly calm and at ease. And you feel like any inner reserves that you might have spent this evening have been somewhat restored.
Interesting. What was that?
Specialty of my clan.
I don't want to be impolite, but I'm so fascinated which clan that would be.
If we're in polite circles, we're called the Salubri. If we're in less polite circles, we're called Soulsuckers or Cyclopses or Lunch.
Well, that would be very impolite. I will not be calling you any of those things aside from Salubri, of course.
Theo, as he says that, you can smell blood in the air. You realize that the handkerchief that he's wearing has gotten slightly damp around the center of it. You realize from somewhere he is bleeding.
Did that hurt you?
No, it doesn't hurt.
Interesting. Well, that's good. This is all very fascinating. Can you tell me? I just want to know everything that I can about kindred lore, honestly. Seeing as I'm so fresh.
I'm not the person to instruct you on it. Sorry, I don't know
Nope.
that much. And we don't really have all night for a history lesson.
No, of course not. My apologies.
But you have a long time, if you're smart, to live. You don't need to learn it all in one night. You do know that, right?
No, you're right. I don't. Just tired of being left in the dark.
Maybe we'll do this. You ask me a question, and I'll ask you a question. We'll play that game until one of us gets bored.
Okay. Fair enough.
Sawyer, you have returned over to the bar.
Yes.
Stella is still there talking with Nolan. And she sees you.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think of the place, Sawyer? It's pretty nice, right?
It is top quality. Like this is a great place. Fantastic entertainment as well.
Yeah. Why don't we come over here? And she indicates to a corner away from Nolan. makes that very obvious.
Yeah, no, we can go sit down.
So, sorry about Nolan trying to make the Camarilla sound like it's better than it is.
Oh, that's okay. I know where I stand with everybody.
It's not that the Camarilla don't take Thin Bloods. I don't know if anybody told you that.
I heard something about branding.
Yeah, they will put a brand on you. A brand that you can't get rid of, not even with what I do. It's a magic brand. The Tremere do it.
I think I'm good on that.
What Nolan's not telling you is that the Camarilla don't even know what they're doing. They're practically, besides the people here present and then a few higher ups, we're mostly scattered and gone. I don't even know if I am Camarilla anymore. I was, and then I met Anthony, and now I'm not so sure anymore.
I mean, he seems like a pretty good person to have sided with.
I don't know. I was hoping I'd meet my sire, the person who made me, whoever that was. But Anthony's sort of the stand-in right now, and I have a lot of questions for the person who made me. Why being the first one, but don't have nobody to answer that.
I mean, I guess you just kind of take what you're given and roll with it. But then again, I do know who my sire is, and I'm gonna kill him and apparently eat him, his body. I don't know how that works, actually, but you know.
Thin Bloods are weird.
We really are. We're so weird. We're so very weird. But hey, we're working through it, I guess.
Tex, you have reached the chaise lounge, and you see this person. And she is right now holding onto the face, one of their faces, her nails digging into the side of it. She just says, I just love your skin. I love it. Don't change a thing, Harold. Don't ever get that surgery that makes your skin tighter. Don't ever do it. I love it just the way it is. You can see that Harold's skin is quite wrinkly, old.
What an entrance. What a moment. Tex is just standing there in complete awe. And it's more like just hovering, just not necessarily wanting to speak, but just to experience this person in this moment.
You see everyone around them is just fawning over them, trying to mimic their movements, their words, the way that they carry themselves, because this Nosferatu keeps standing up, changing their position on the chaise lounge, and everyone follows suit. And you can tell that she is lapping it up. She's loving it. She's loving the attention. And she notices you, and she says, well, hello, dollface.
Hi. I didn't mean to interrupt your herd. Just kind of
look. And she leans in, her unnaturally long neck towards you. We don't call them that in front of them. That's behind the scenes talk.
Oh, okay.
Because these are just my fans, I love them. I need them. And she starts fawning and touching all of their faces.
Okay, then, like I said, just didn't want to interrupt, more just viewing, not viewing in like a voyeuristic sense, but more view it like an art piece, like an installation.
I like you. That's exactly what we're trying to do here. We are trying to give everyone a piece of the beauty that is myself.
I understand completely. And then they take a step back just to keep the whole like viewer art piece, that motif standing. Wasn't like Ramón like joining, or
yeah,
Ramón, yes,
behind and kind of like lingering a bit.
Ramón, you have arrived, and you have heard this entire conversation and how extroverted and eccentric this person is. Again, you cannot see their facial features. They are wearing a static cherub mask.
Yeah.
And you see this as an art piece, right?
Yeah.
I don't believe him. That's why I like you and I don't like him.
That's fair. I'm confused a bit.
Well, yes. That's part of it. First comes the confusion, then you let the beauty in. See, that's why I don't like him. He doesn't understand.
I'd like to. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm very interested in what you have going on here, that's all.
All right, fine. And she goes, shoo, get away. Go away. Go be beautiful elsewhere. And her herd scatters. Come on, sit down. She indicates to some chairs nearby.
Oh.
Are we sitting?
I am inviting you to sit in my presence.
Okay. Tech sits.
I will take a seat as well.
So, something you want to know? Something Olivia can do for you?
It's a pleasure to meet you, first of all.
Yes, that is correct.
Ramón, if it matters.
Okay. And you, I like you. I'll probably remember your name.
It's Dallas, but most people call me Tex.
I like that. See, that's important. You have to have the name within the name. You know what I mean?
I think I do.
I like this one.
Yes.
And you, single boring name.
Yeah.
You are one of the hidden ones, which is what I prefer to call us, not the other nickname that everyone uses.
Yeah, I haven't heard nicknames, if I'm being honest. I'm very, very new.
They call us sewer rats. If anyone calls you a sewer rat, you kill them, stake them, and leave them out for the sun.
Okay. That's it's a reaction, yeah.
Put me on a walkway, on a runway with any Toreador. I'll wipe the floor with them.
I mean, I don't doubt it. How long have you been hidden?
Beautiful?
One? Yeah.
Long enough. Why? Lady doesn't like to discuss her age.
You're right, I'm very sorry, that was very rude. I'm just, like I said, I'm very interested in what you have going on, and I'm very, very new, and
You want a sponsorship into the Camarilla? Is that what you're here for?
no.
Is that why all your
I
little
don't-
friends are going to all the people in the Camarilla and talking to them? It's not like I don't notice. I can see through this mask. I'll give you a sponsorship, Dallas. You got one from me. And the prince will listen to me.
Oh, we were just. I don't want to sound like a tourist. We're kind of just seeing the sights. We were invited by a friend of ours. Like Ramón said, we're very, very new to all this.
Well, that's good. We need new blood. Because I'm pretty sure all of these old farts living around here are going to get everyone killed. So there will just be new bloods left. You are aware of the Anox and Sabat fighting in the streets like a bunch of dogs, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure necessarily if personally I would like a sponsorship into the Camarilla, but I just more interested in you, if that's okay.
She looks you up and down. I'm sorry, honey. I don't date my clan.
No, fuck, that's understandable.
I don't like anyone I got too much in common with.
That's
Unless you want to be part of my herd.
That's fair. I wasn't really referring to that. I just he's gonna like not exactly like side-eye text, but just kind of awkwardly look over and just be like, I don't feel great. Like I said, I'm very, very new, and everywhere I go, I haven't gotten fucking sewer rat yet, but I don't feel how you feel. So I guess my earlier question of how long you've been Hidden One, when do I stop feeling like shit?
When you decide to stop feeling like shit. When you decide that this is who you are. And whether you think you're beautiful or not, it's up to you. Whether you project that out into the world is up to you. There's someone on TV that I heard once say, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love anybody else? It's a good motto. You hate the way you look, and other people hate the way you look. Now, I'm not talking about the humans. That you gotta hide. Otherwise, the scourges will be on your ass, and it's this whole big thing. But other kindred, if they don't like you, fuck them. And if you're a hidden one, you can do it literally. Find out what you know. Find out what they have, what they know. Make their unlives a living hell. Make them regret the moment they ever sneered at you or gave you the side eye. They'll stop. And until then, get some better clothes. Maybe a hat or a wig to go under the hat. And some earrings and some makeup and a kicky scarf. Right? Dallas, a kicky scarf would do him a lot of good.
I'll write that down somewhere. We'll make a shopping list.
See, I like you. You want to join the Camarilla, you come find me. I will sponsor you.
I will put that in my back pocket, metaphorically, matter speak. Well, we don't want to take up any more of your time unless...
No, you don't.
Have any...
It is very precious.
Understandable. That's when Tex gets up. Thank you for your time. It was a pleasure to meet you, Miss Olivia.
Thank you, Dallas. You can come here anytime you want. There's always a spot in my herd for you or a spot in my sponsorship for you. I'm fine with either one.
Thank you.
She doesn't say goodbye to you, Ramón. She simply goes, okay, my babies, my babies, my babies. And they all flutter back to her.
I think Ramón would kind of get up awkwardly and just kind of pause for a second, and then... I used to have really nice hair. And I'll awkwardly walk away.
With Theo in conversation with a salubri, of all things. Sawyer having a conversation with Stella. Ramón feeling maybe not that much better about themselves. And Tex realizing that they are incredibly popular in this Elysia, for some reason. We are going to have a very quick break. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Are We Dead Yet? Our Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition Not So Thin Blood Chronicle. Last we left off, our coterie is at the Wet Spot, which they have learned is one of the Elysia here in the Grand Strand. They've also learned what an Elysium or Elysia are, and they are apparently safe havens, typically employed by Camarilla vampires. Tex and Ramón, you are walking away from Olivia, the avant-garde scene queen Nosferatu. Is there anywhere that you two would like to go? You notice that Sawyer is in conversation with Stella. Theo is in conversation with the fortune teller in the back of the bar. Nolan is by himself, and Clover the singer, is overlooking the whole floor from the second story. Or would you like to just converse among yourselves or join either member of your coterie?
I'm gonna apologize to Tex.
Why are you apologizing?
I didn't want to interrupt. I was trying to.
Oh no! I could have did that by myself. No, you're good.
I mean, I feel like she really liked you. So.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good thing around here. So.
I mean, it's debatable. Like I said, I think she really liked you. So I think more conversation could have happened. More information if you wanted.
I think it was as long or short as it needed to be. So, again, I don't want you to beat yourself up or apologize or say anything else about it. Okay? Do you understand? Everything is fine.
Yeah.
You didn't have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the bar and see if I can go get blasted, or if we can still do that. So, have fun. I don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay.
I'll
Bye.
awkwardly wander over to the bar.
And what about you, Tex? Where would you like to go?
I think they'll just kind of like awkwardly give Ramón like a couple steps and then just follow behind. They don't know where to go next. So.
Tell Ramón has a lot on his mind. So we move back to Theo with Levi. He's leaned back now. He's sort of just rubbing at his forehead as if he's trying to pat dry the wet spot there. So should I ask the question first or should you?
I could go if that's okay.
Ladies first.
What can you tell me about your clan?
Well, we're rare. And we're hunted. What can you tell me about yours?
Not a whole lot. Tremere. But I don't really know why that's funny.
Oh, that's precious.
Why would that be?
Is that your second question?
That is.
Your clan and mine have a long history of hating each other. And it's probably because your clan founder ate mine. That's the rumor, though.
I'm learning very quickly that myth is more oftentimes true than not. I could see why your clan would be cross with mine then. I would be too.
I'm not cross. And I don't know how many know about it anymore. But it used to be a bigger deal than it is now. A lot of the old ones are gone. And it's just us young bloods now. Now it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
What can you tell me about your friends?
Well, I kind of pause and think for a second, like find everyone with their eyes one by one. Got caught up in that Anarch Sabbat war everyone keeps talking about.
That's tough.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't great. Has not been great since then, but this is better.
Yeah. The whole reason the Sabbat are here is it's the Anarch's fault. No matter what anyone tells you.
Well, I guess my question would be, why is that? What happened?
Well, Anarchs are prickly. I should know, I used to be one. They got mad when Prince came in. Guy named Prince Tenebras. He claimed domain, forced the Anarchs to kiss his ring. Probably not the best course of action, but he was old and kind of a dick. They fought back. Right inside of this place called Pirate's Voyage. He got decapitated. Caused power vacuum, power struggle, and the Sabbat, well, they saw an in. So it's their fault that the Sabbat are here.
Interesting. They say there are two sides to every story. But I'm glad to know this one.
I would say two sides is being conservative, but sure.
Fair enough.
Now for my last question.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to see me again?
How do you mean?
Well, that's a question, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
That's not the game we're playing.
No. I don't know if I'll be coming back, so...
I didn't ask if you were coming back, Theodora.
Well, if you're asking what I think you're asking, no. I'm okay. But I appreciate it.
What a shame. Well, I think 3 and out is enough questions for me tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I think I'll rejoin my friends. Thank you, though, for all the information.
I'll see you around, Theodora.
I'll see you around.
And
And
Levi packs his stuff up. You watch him pack his stuff up.
Yeah, I'll start getting up and just kind of seeing like what he has, what he's using to on these mortals.
He has tarot cards, a crystal ball, a Ouija board. It looks like all things he could have picked up at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
This seems to be an act,
Yeah.
more so than anything legitimate.
As she kind of turns around and leaves, and she gets a couple steps away, she's like, "Man, I hate con men." And she'll rejoin everyone at the bar.
So Ramón and Tex are at the bar. Sawyer is off in the corner with Stella. So, of course, there's also Olivia, and there's Clover. Where would you like to go?
I'll go. Actually, I'll slip in next to Sawyer.
All right. Speaking of Sawyer, you're in conversation with Stella. She's just finishing her drink. It's getting late, and pretty soon Nolan's gonna flip the lights to let us know that we have to get out of here soon.
Yeah. I mean, you would know that. You said you used to come here a lot when we were out on the pier. Actually, you said you used to come here a lot when you, and then you kind of stopped. What was there?
Yeah, when I was a member of the Ivory Tower.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe maybe you were like a ghoul or something. I actually don't.
I don't know if I was. It's real weird when I try and think back on certain events. They're not there, and it kind of hurts behind the eyes to think about it too much. I was working for someone who I think was a vampire, and I think he's the one who turned me, or maybe it was a she. I don't know. But I don't know if I was a ghoul. I can't remember.
I mean, that's fair. Same here. I do know, like, she messed with my head a lot, so I get the whole headache thing. Like, it's there, but you just can't touch it, and you can't.
Yeah, it's
see
exactly what it's like. It's exactly what it's like.
And your eye starts twitching, and it's better just not to push, I guess. I dream about it though.
Well, but I guess it's because you're a Thin Blood. I can't dream.
Probably.
I haven't dreamt since I died. Not that I know of, anyway.
Maybe you just don't remember it. I don't know. I don't know how this works.
Can I ask, and I'm going to ask this very carefully.
Oh, yeah.
Why did your friends do it? And I'm asking carefully, and I hope that you'll answer carefully.
I can answer carefully. From the little bit we've talked about it, it kept them safe because they were trying to keep everybody else safe. We got put in that situation. There was no good way out. There wasn't actually a way out for a while. Like, and Sawyer kind of pulled down their shirt where the bullet wounds still kind of scabbed over. The person didn't give us much of a choice.
I can't lie to you. It's for people like me, it's real scary that you can do that. It's probably the big reason why nobody likes you.
That's a possibility. Yeah, I don't like that about us, or about, I guess, me. I guess.
Theo, you join Sawyer at this time.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Am I? I can go.
Never.
Okay.
You do you want a drink or?
I'm okay. I already had one.
Yeah.
Stella stands up. Well, I'll leave you little lovebirds alone. I'm gonna get one more drink before we go.
Oh, okay. If you want to talk more about all this, you have my number.
I have eternity to talk about it, don't I?
I don't know if I got that long.
I think you do. Sorry.
I'll manage.
Ramón, you're over at the bar with Nolan. Tex, you've also joined them. And Ramón, you want to get blitzed, is that correct?
Yeah. Nolan, I don't know how to ask this. Is there a way we can drink, like, get fucked up?
Yes and no.
Okay.
You really need to go find a human that's taken some sort of illicit substance or is really drunk. Even a human who smoked a cigarette, and you'll get that little kick.
Okay.
But unfortunately, it doesn't really work if I put drugs into the blood.
Okay.
It doesn't really work the same way. And if I give you straight up liquor, well, it'll taste like ash in your mouth.
I hate this place.
And you'll throw up, and I really don't want you throwing up in my bar.
That's fair. But I can, if I find someone who's been drinking heavily or maybe is on something.
Oh yeah, you'll get a nice little kick from it.
And that's allowed here. Like I can.
If someone, so if you notice, Olivia has a herd, and Levi's performing a service.
Okay.
We don't necessarily have humans around us for a reason, unless they are specific humans for specific things.
Okay.
We're not like the Anarchs.
Okay.
Just rough and tumble, grabbing anybody they see and taking off and letting... have you ever been to the Treasure Club? There's humans in there, there's kindred in there, it's a mess.
Okay. Well, shit. Thanks for the info, I guess.
No problem. Happy to provide info. Anything I can get for you? And he looks over at you, Tex.
No, I think the atmosphere and the conversation has been just as fulfilling.
Well, I gotta say, I have never seen Olivia take to anybody new like she's taken to you. And that makes you A-okay in my book. She's a good friend to have. She's very close with the prince.
Understood. Very nice to know.
You said that like you don't understand how important that is.
I'm just a little that's just my disposition. I'm sorry. I'll turn it down on the end of the word so I sound like understood. See.
You want to be friends with the higher ups, if you have to be what you are. Fresh and new.
Okay.
I can see why she likes you. So, there's any drinks I can get you or any information I can give you and your friends, now is the time to do it, because you don't have to stay. You can't stay here. You don't have to go home. But you can't stay here because the sun's coming and we're all windows here. And I ain't cleaning up ash tomorrow night.
Well, I think I'm pretty good. Pretty good. Good. You get it.
You're getting the hang of it. Clover is heading down to perform once again on stage. Will not make you roll again for it. Ramón, do you have any more questions for Nolan or for Stella, who has now joined the bar and is having one last drink?
No, he's gonna probably end up just staying sober and just wait for his friends to reconvene.
All right. Sawyer and Theo, you have a moment alone. Would you like to discuss anything?
Did I interrupt something? I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, you weren't interrupting anything. I was just talking to Stella. Like she said, buy your drink and life story. I didn't really get to the life story part. No, a little bit more though. I swore she was like Anthony's child, but I guess like he's adopted her or something.
I don't know. They seem close.
Yeah.
Well, kind of.
I don't know if anybody is actually close to anybody. Oh. Seems like everybody's got some sort of ulterior motive.
Seems that way. That's why I like when we stick together.
Yeah. It's good. I know the field a little bit more. Sometimes kind of, not really, actually. Like, I didn't know about you. Like, that was a weird way to... I'm sorry. Do you want a drink?
I'm okay.
Okay.
What do you mean? Didn't know about me.
The whole conversation we had at the...
Oh.
You know,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's... When you're studying as hard as I was, I couldn't really focus on much of anything.
Fair.
And I regret how close I got to Harley during everything. Would have much rather spent that time with you.
Harvey was a tool anyway.
It's hard, yeah. No, he was. And now he's a torturing zealot. Who would have thought? Character arc.
Checks. I'm sorry you had to go through all that.
It's fine. I'm here.
I know, but I think you and I haven't really talked about that, actually. I'm sorry I lied to you about everything that was going on.
You don't have to be sorry for anything. I'm sorry I pulled away.
I mean, I was pulling away anyway. Not that it was my choice, but still. This is a really terrible first date. I'm so sorry. I can do so much better. I can do so much better.
I've had fun. I mean, I was having an interesting conversation and then it ended very awkwardly. So I'm much more happy to be here.
Are you talking about this conversation? Or...
No. The other conversation I was having.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, not doing as terrible as I thought.
No, you're doing great. Give it a solid 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Oh, I will take that. That is way better than the rating I was hoping for.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, over at the bar, Stella is sitting next to you, Ramón, and she looks at you. So, do you feel any better now that you got normal ears? Got little ears? I made them too little, I think.
No, I that made me feel a lot better, and I really appreciate it. Confidence doesn't really stick with me, so it's not your fault. But I really do appreciate it.
Oh, is it just because of the way you look, or were you always like this?
Fuck. That's a big question.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean it to be.
No, it's okay. I don't know. I had some issues when I was alive, but they feel real small now. I was homeless, and as far as like, I mean, without this sounding weird, I have really attractive friends.
No, that doesn't sound weird. Anthony and all of his friends are attractive.
Yeah, it's really fucked up. No, I just, when I was alive, I was homeless, and I was trying to kind of just survive, and I didn't really have time for like friends or let alone like relationships. What am I gonna do? Bring somebody back to my fucking car? And then I didn't think I looked great, and then I looked worse, but I still was really vain about my hair. Really liked my hair.
I'm sorry. I wish I could give you hair, and I can't.
It's okay.
I'm flesh and bone, not hair.
No, it's okay. Like I said, this was really nice.
Look, Ramón, I'm sorry about the circumstances that you came from. But you don't have to be who you were when you were alive. And just because you look the way you do now, I'm sorry, that's not really gonna throw off a whole lot of night-dwelling, blood-sucking creatures.
Then why does everyone feel the need to point it out, Stella?
Because it's novel. We don't see a lot of... Maybe it's different in bigger cities. We don't see a lot of Nosferatu here. Not in the downtown part. They're all in the marshlands. They live out there. And they eat off of all the rich people because I think it's funny or for them or something. But people like Olivia don't let it bother her.
Yeah, talking to her was something else too. I can't... It was a lot of, I asked her how long do I feel like not a piece of shit, because she seems like she's really got it, and it just, a lot of non-answer. I feel like there's the, like you have to make a decision and find yourself attractive or whatever, but then like the fucking quote of, how can you love anybody if you don't love yourself? I take such issue with that quote because it's... You can hate yourself and find beauty and love in everyone else around you. You can... Look at artists. Look at Van Gogh. Van Gogh wanted to die every day of his life, but he made beautiful things. Things that we can actually appreciate. How can you expect everyone to love themselves and not be fucking miserable?
She finishes her drink, takes and considers something. I don't think it's the responsibility of other people to make you feel like you're beautiful. I don't think your friends need to make you feel beautiful. I think they love you because of who you are and the way you're talking to me. And now I'm not going to call you beautiful, Ramón, but I think you're a perfectly fine person to talk to. I enjoy talking to you. I would be more than happy to get together whenever you want and help you look the way you want to. If it would make it easier for you.
I appreciate it.
I'm pretty lonely. I don't have any friends now, and I don't have a coterie. I just have Anthony constantly breathing down my neck, in a manner of speaking.
Oh, I get it. I really appreciate it. I'm not looking for anyone to make me feel beautiful. I don't know what I'm looking for at this point, I guess.
We have a long time to find it. And if having ears that I definitely made too small makes it easier for you, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah. For the record, I mean, you may not feel like you have friends, but I feel like with as much as we've been calling you and hitting you up, I feel like that warrants some sort of relationship. So, if you want to call us
I guess so,
friends,
but
we
you're
can.
kind of all full up on a coterie.
No, we've got a... I feel like there's not really a limit on slots.
There kind of is, because once you get too big, you're not a coterie anymore. You're like a I don't even know.
Like a faction?
Yeah, then you
Mhm.
become your own faction, and there ain't nobody gonna like that.
If that's fine, fuck them.
Speaking of, I really can't even pick a coterie until I figure out if I'm Camarilla or Anarch, or neither.
Whatever you end up being, we appreciate you. We're here for you.
Thanks. As the night dwindles on, and you listen to Clover singing the rest of her set. She's now singing Afternoon Delight, but a more slowed down, jazzy version. Seems like a strange song for a vampire to sing. You see Theo and Sawyer. You see a raccoon skirt around under the tables and hop up onto the bar. And Ramón and Tex, you see it walk on top of the bar and walk around to Nolan. It's a really fat raccoon, like definitely overfeeds him. And you hear Nolan go, "Hey, trash bag! I was waiting for you, buddy."
Not trash bag. Like, not nobody in particular, just like in amusement, in absolute joy.
Yeah.
Nolan smiles and holds him up to you, Tex. You like him? Isn't he cute?
Oh, he's adorable. Trash. Oh, more like
he's
cotton
the one-
candy bag.
He's the one who named the place, and Nolan looks at him and you hear him chittering, much like Ramón did when he was squeaking. He's chittering at Trash Bag, and Trash Bag answers him. He's like, "Well, actually, he wanted to call the place Trash Bag, but we settled on the wet spot."
Okay, that wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
And he says something else to him, and Trash Bag comes over to you, Tex, and sits in your lap.
These Camarilla recruitment techniques,
Honestly,
absolutely
tier.
horrendous.
Top tier. Brand couldn't be that bad, right, guys?
Yeah, no. But no, they accept have this fat baby in their lap.
Yep.
Just-
And he sits very much like a person. He sort of leans back against you, paws out, belly out, and is waiting for belly rubs.
Can't deny it. Just little pats.
Oh, sorry. I'll kind of lean over to Theo and kind of. Do you want to go check out the raccoon?
It sounds like you want to
or
check out the
dance.
raccoon.
I'm curious about the raccoon. Dance raccoon. No, dance. Both.
Raccoon then dance?
That cool. Yeah. We can do that.
Okay.
So you head over to the raccoon. Ramón, do you get in on the pets, or do you give Squeaker some attention?
I'm gonna give Squeaker some attention, and if there's any like bar pretzels or whatever, those are Squeaker's.
Mhm.
Those are
There's
Brand-
some
those are
peanuts,
Brand's now.
and you can put him down into the dish of peanuts,
Yeah,
and he just starts chomping away. Nolan doesn't seem to care
those
or
belong to
notice.
the Baron now.
And Stella asks if she can pet Squeakers.
Yeah. Let me. I'll check with Squeakers. Would it be okay if my friend pet you?
And you notice Stella can also talk to Squeakers. And she asks permission to pet him, because Samitsis have in-clan discipline animalism. You can tell me if Squeaker says yes.
I would think he'd be fine with it. He's perfectly content sitting in a bowl of peanuts.
And so she's patting his little head. Sawyer and Theo come over to Tex, and you get in on the belly rubs, because Tex seems like they're in heaven at the moment. It's like it's like a big furry cat.
I will very gently take the paw and just be like, "Nice to meet you."
He just coos at you. You cannot understand him.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nolan lets out an uproarious laughter and says to you, Ramón, if only the animals could talk that formally, huh?
Honestly, yeah, this is a new thing for me, but I'm really enjoying it. So
it's fun. It's nice. And he looks at Sawyer and Theo, but he doesn't really know what it means when you shake his hand. Sorry about it.
No, I do that to pets.
See what Tex is doing with the belly rubs? That's what he responds to.
Yeah. All right.
And
Yeah.
food.
Hey, buddy, and just kind of scratches behind the ears.
Under the chin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's loving it. And Nolan throws him a pretzel, and you watch him grab it in the air, start eating it.
So smart.
Yeah.
So quick.
Yeah. The
Just
only
so
other.
good.
What were they called? I don't remember what people were saying when the animals and blood.
A famulus.
Famulous. Yeah, the only other famulous we've ran into were some alligators.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anything will work. Head over to the zoo if you wanted to, but their alligators and zoo animals are a little bit harder to hide.
That does make sense. I'm glad to see Baron Squeakers is doing good over there.
I love that.
yeah,
There's already 2 barons here on the strip. May as well make it a third.
yeah,
I bet he's the best one of them.
yeah. He's kind of don't want to start any faction war or anything like that, but he's definitely claiming your pretzels.
That's what they're there for. Well, they're there for trash bag, but it's okay if they shares.
I thought there was only one Baron on the strip.
Well, the Sabbat guy calls himself Baron, and then the Anarchs have their Baron. So who the hell knows what those guys are doing? I haven't been an Anarch since I came to the Grand Strand with Victoria and her sire and Isaiah. So all the gangrels came here, and man, it became pretty clear that Lencho, Victoria's sire, was just what we used to call a sofa baron.
You came here with Victoria?
Yeah.
Yeah. We all did. All the gangrel. Probably any gangrel that you run into here on the Grand Strand came here with Victoria and her sire. I mean, her sire was like our leader, our baron, but really it was Victoria running the show.
I can see that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's something else.
Yeah, everything was much better when we were all still Camarilla. I never bought into the Anarchs, not really. Just, we all left, so.
You just kind of went with your friends, kind of thing? Or your family?
It's kind of hard to explain, but long and short of it is the Camarilla in New York kind of fucked us over, used us as cannon fodder in their Sabbat war, and the big guy in our clan, his name was Justicar Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
He declared an en masse leaving the Camarilla for all gangrel, and most of us listened to him, because why wouldn't we?
So like I don't understand. Is that like he was like the leader of your entire clan, like big whole
leader of the clan? Debatable. The Camarilla Justicars are the most powerful of our clans.
Oh, it's a title.
Yeah.
Okay.
Justicars are chosen, and there's maybe 1 or 2 for every clan.
So Justicar Prince Justicar.
Depends on who you ask. A prince would say they were higher than a Justicar. A Justicar wouldn't.
Would what's his name? Dean say that? I don't know much about it.
I'd really rather not talk about what Dean wouldn't say.
That's
Not
fair.
here
Okay.
anyway.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair. I just don't know much about the prince except for heard his name once. Now, twice.
Dean's a Tremere. He wasn't meant to be prince. Prince Tenebros was meant to be prince. But the Anarchs decapitated him. Right inside of this asshole guy, his name's Hunter, inside of his place called Pirate's Voyage. Decapitated him right in front of his court. They used some crazy Malkavian swinging on a rope.
That's rather inventive.
It
Yeah.
is.
And then, when Dean took up, who Prince Tenebros extended an olive branch, made one of the local Grand Strand Camarilla his seneschal. And of course, then Dean becomes prince, and they are really not happy about that. They had personal beef with him. And so they started attacking Camarilla, causing a power vacuum, power struggle, and in come the Sabbat, ready to destroy us all. And we get caught in the blast. Literally, we did nothing. All we asked, or all Dean asked for, was obedience.
Got it. Kind of like throw in your loyalty. I would like to vibe check Nolan.
I was thinking the same thing.
All right, everyone roll a vibe check. Sure. What can I ask specifically? What vibe are you checking?
We had nothing to do with this has been said so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everyone here is present for this conversation, so everyone can roll what's an insight.
It's 5. Again, this is Sawyer's number. We just 5.
Mhm.
I love that for you. I got a 3.
3.
I got a 4 successes.
Mhm.
I got a 1 with 2 bestial failure things
Yeah,
sitting, so...
Yeah, no, you are way too engrossed in Baron Squeakers, and so is Stella, and you're kind of enjoying having, someone appreciate Baron Squeakers as much as you do, so you're really not, super paying attention to the conversation. And Squeakers is just stuffing a bunch of peanuts in his mouth, getting the little pouches.
I love that.
It's really cute. It's really adorable. Tex and Sawyer, however, and Theo, you're having a really good time rubbing trash bag's belly. It's really soft. But Tex and Sawyer, you're paying a little bit more attention. And although what Nolan is saying is something that he believes to be true, you can tell that he clearly does not know for certain if this is the truth. This is very likely what he has been told multiple times, and he knows nothing else. But he doesn't know it as an objective truth.
He has told us his truth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like just the Cam just got the short end of everybody's stick.
That's pretty much, yeah. It's putting it politely.
Yeah. I'm trying to watch my manners. Last time I didn't. I got shot, so
That'll happen. That'll happen.
Yeah, it'll happen a lot, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of rub where the alligator bit them.
But if you really are interested in joining the Camarilla, well, the easiest way is to get sponsored, and at least one of you got the eye of someone to be sponsored. And maybe Tex gets in, be easier for all of you to get in, then they can sponsor each one of you, and it's a pretty simple process. You just need to introduce yourself to the prince, bend the knee, and kiss the ring.
Got it. Thank you for the information and the opportunity. Can I ask what everybody's deal with Hunter is, though? Like, you're the third person that I've talked to that said Hunter's name like that.
I just don't like the guy. He acts like nothing bothers him. He acts like everything rolls off his back, water off a duck's back, that whole bullshit thing. He acts like he doesn't need anything from anybody, that he just wants everybody to chill out and have a good time, and, it's such bullshit.
Huh. Okay. I can understand the one to chill out and have a good time, but,
Look, he stood by and let his Anarch friends blow up the Camarilla. He stood by and let his Anarch friends decapitate the prince. He stood by and let the Sabbat blow up half the Grand Strand. He's a waste of skin. as far as I'm concerned.
But he didn't. I'm sorry. You made it seem like he was the one that was decapitating the prince.
No, it was some Malkavian named Sarah.
And is Sarah no longer like around?
No, there happened to have been a Justicar there. Ripped her head off.
Jesus Christ! This is okay. There's not really a whole lot of peace in this place, is there?
No, actually. Not since Hunter and his friends started thinking about maybe they should run the Grand Strand. And by that is Hunter going, yeah, guys, you should definitely do it. I'll be here in my pirate ship.
Got it.
Anyway, enough doom and gloom. Clover's gonna be done with her set pretty soon. She's moved on to now, she's singing Britney Spears' song, I'm a Slave for You, but again, it's that same slow, jazzy, bluesy way of singing. There's nothing singing to the way you would hear it on the radio. And Nolan holds his hand out for you, Tex. Want to dance? Last dance of the night.
Thank you for trash bag. And just like shakily bring their hand out to meet.
Nolan takes your hand confidently. A lot of strength in those digits. Pulls you out onto the dance floor. Stella sort of nudges you, Ramón. Come on, Ramón, let's go dance.
Sure, yeah, okay. And I'll...
Squeakers will be fine. And she looks at me, she's, you're gonna stay here and eat those peanuts, right? And Squeakers answers back, food. Eating food now.
Yep. Whatever the Baron wants, Baron gets. Yeah, I'll go. I'll follow Stella.
Sawyer and Theo, do you also want to dance?
Yeah, seems like they're playing our song. You want to go?
Yes, let's go.
We cope with humor, and so we're
We cope with humor,
pull
baby.
Theo close and go on the dance floor.
If everyone would please roll me dexterity and performance, or stamina and performance, whichever is higher for you, to see how well you all are able to dance. I'll do the same thing for Nolan and Stella. That's terrible for Stella. Stella's going to embarrass everybody. Let's see.
Sorry, what was the roll one more time? I apologize.
Dex and performance, or stamina and performance, whichever is higher for you.
Gotcha.
Nope.
Oh, no.
Let's see. It's the end of the night. Stella will spend a willpower. Nope. Okay. What about Nolan? Nolan's a little bit better. Nope, Nolan's so bad. But he's got 3 dots of performance, so that's fine. It's fine. So much better. Okay. What is everyone's rolls, please?
3.
Oh!
1.
Yeah. 2. Okay. Well, here's what happens. Nolan very expertly leads you out to the dance floor, Tex. It's a slow song because of the way Clover is performing it, and pulls you close, and he starts leading you. It's not letting you lead. And he's very good at dancing. He looks into your eyes. He smiles. See his long fangs. And he definitely makes up for any missteps that you might take. He's almost cat-like, graceful, and so light on his feet. He spins you around. He allows you to spin him. And it is a fun, playful dance between the two of you. Sawyer and Theo, who's leading? There is a right answer.
There.
Theo.
I feel like Theo's personality and her she would have learned how to dance probably a little bit.
I would say so.
Sawyer and Theo definitely got thrown.
But the
into,
problem
like,
is, so would Sawyer have learned how to dance. Being from wealth, cotillions are a thing in the South.
That's very true. And her personality would just take over, and she would probably lead.
Okay.
Sorry,
Well,
let
that
Theo.
is the right answer.
That is the
If
right
it had been the
answer.
other way, it might have been a little bit bad. Theo, you notice Sawyer sort of fumbling a little bit, kind of forgetting where they're supposed to put their feet, trying to think back to those cotillion days. Where do is it left first? Is it 1, 2, 3, or is it 1, 2, 4? 1, 2, 3, 4? And you just take the initiative and you lead them. And you start dancing around the dance floor. And Sawyer, how does that feel to have Theo take the lead? Probably makes you miss certain things that were broken.
There's like this kind of like half sad smile as they're watching their feet. Remembering when, we got stuck at, our parents' country club learning all these moves, and Theo was always better at this, and Sawyer actually says that. You were always better.
I mean, I'm a perfectionist. What can I say?
I mean, you're perfect, so that makes sense.
You're too sweet.
Try. Just being honest. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on you. I'm sorry.
You're fine. You're fine.
Ramón? Stella gets real close to you and whispers to you, "I can't dance."
I used to be able to. Things have changed. I think the turn has changed my whole physiology. My limbs feel longer. So
why don't? So she takes your hands, puts them around her waist. Just hold me close and let's sway convincingly.
I mean, that's what people do nowadays. I think we should be fine. Yeah. Okay, and I'll do exactly that.
Yep. And neither of you move your legs or your feet too much. Stella is very, very close to you, Ramón, but it's not uncomfortable feeling, or she's not trying to make it. She is just desperately trying not to step on your feet and not move her feet too much.
You don't have to worry about, I don't. I was shot the other day, so I mean, I feel like getting stepped on is not going to be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I never learned how to dance. I never really had a reason to learn how to dance. I used to be a homicide detective. I'm sort of just all about the job. So, who has time for dancing?
No, I danced to Spanish music, and most of that is quinceañeras and real upbeat. This is. I can't. No, you're doing great.
You notice as she's very close, she's feeling. Probably being a little bit too forward and feeling all of the strange bones that are sticking out of your skin in different places, the twistedness now of your ribs and your spine, and she's feeling on it. And she's like, your physique is fascinating. I could do a lot with this.
I mean, I'm kind of here for it.
Oh, you're hiding it real well under that hoodie, and no one could see it, but I mean.
Yeah, it was a gift. I mean, if you ever want to experiment and see what you can do. Like I said,
Anthony would hate that. I absolutely want to do that.
Yeah, we don't have to tell your dad.
He's not my dad.
It was a joke.
Oh, okay, I get it. Nolan, with you Tex, brings you real close to themselves. I really do hope that you take Olivia up on their offer. The Camarilla is going to be something new here.
I appreciate the offer and the grand welcome, but I really need to stick with my friends. So
convince them to come. We need new blood injected into the Camarilla. After what the Anarchs and the Sabbat have done, so many of us are gone. We are just fragmented now. There's so few of us, and all we want is to rebuild the Camarilla into what it should have always been.
I don't want to be rude. Again, thank you, but I just got here, and when I say I just got here after some abilities, complications, something like that. So I don't know how much I can help personally, and I don't want to put the people I care about under any sort of deception. So if the rest of this dance is just going to be your own your time share sale, I can't do this.
And that's why I really like you too. I definitely see what Olivia sees. And he spins you, pulls you back in to his arms. Let's just enjoy the night then.
I'm gonna use one of my disciplines.
Mm-hmm. Which one would
Use
you like
folder
to
roll,
use?
see if he's lying.
Mm-hmm. That is an intelligence and your level of discipline, please.
Okay, so
We missed Tex so much.
That would have come in
Yeah.
handy so much.
Would have been so helpful.
Where have you been?
It's okay.
Please.
They're like, wait!
Don't
three
ever leave us.
successes.
The 3 successes, you can tell that Nolan is not lying. Not only does Nolan actually like you, Nolan really believes that new blood into the Camarilla will make it into something great. Fortunately, neither vibe checks nor your ability are able to differentiate between subjective and objective truths. For Nolan truly believes in what he is saying. Whether that is objectively true, there is no way to tell.
Okay. So text might look a little hazy, or just like their stare goes off maybe a couple yards and comes right back in,
Mhm.
and they try to enjoy the rest of the dance.
And as the dance comes to an end, Stella is actually going to trip over your feet, Ramón, and gonna go down to one knee. I had to do that to her because she rolled bestial failure twice. And you going to help her up, or are you just going to leave her
Absolutely.
down
I'm
there?
gonna-
It's fine if you leave her down there.
I'm gonna pick her
It's a
up.
terrible roll.
I think you would probably awkwardly drop to one knee as well, and kind of like try to offer his hand.
And she takes it. And again, she seems to be very obsessed with checking out the bones in your hands. It's probably getting strange at this point, and you don't know really why she's acting this way. She wasn't acting this way before. If you'd like to roll me an wits and occult roll or a wits and insight roll, whichever is higher for you, you can. Sawyer and Theo, your dance goes beautifully. There is no missteps, no mistakes. Theo, make sure, Sawyer, that you do not accidentally go off the floor, that you don't run into anything, that you don't do anything untoward. Theo is a perfect performance, perfect mannerisms, exactly as she was taught by her overbearing father.
Yeah, when the dance comes to an end, Sawyer just kind of spin Theo out a little bit, and then spin her back in and kiss her.
Kiss him kind.
Thank you for the dance.
Olivia sees the kiss and starts clapping loudly. Wonderful! Wonderful! Yes, we like this. Yes, yes.
Oh, so you're just gonna like pulls Theo. I'm sorry. I didn't catch your name. Coming.
Olivia, should I throw coins at you? If I throw coins at you, will you keep kissing?
I'm not sure that's how that works, ma'am, but we appreciate the compliment and kind of sort of look down to Theo.
Theo's just kind of looks very amused. She's just laughing.
What was your roll, Ramón?
4 successes. I apologize.
Yeah, you've been undead now for a while. Not really, but for a while. You're starting to realize that, especially with the thick bloods, they all sort of have this strange quirk or idiosyncrasy about them. With Ruby, you definitely noticed that Ruby really likes dead things. Now Ruby really is into dead bodies, touching them, being around them, smelling them. It's very strange and creepy. And you're getting the feeling that with Stella, that it is something similar, that she's now getting very possessive of your particular form, your body, the strangeness of it, and it might be something related to her blood, her clan.
Ramón doesn't make good decisions. He's gonna help her up and then just kind of whisper, if you want to see each other privately, that'd be fine by me.
She stands up, is still holding onto your hand, and you can feel her rubbing her fingers over your knuckles in a very odd way. And she goes, yeah, I'd like that.
Okay.
I'd like to see you again.
Just whenever you want.
All right. Nolan claps very loudly for Clover, as does Olivia. Levi, who you notice has been hanging out in the back. Theo, is all packed up, but was still watching you. Also claps for Clover. All right, everybody. Like I said, don't have to go home. Can't stay here. Go to ground or whatever it is, the hell is that you people do. And we'll be back open tomorrow night.
Sawyer's gonna nod. All right. Thank you. You guys ready to get out of here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are we gonna? Where are we going?
All of you can notice that Stella is clinging to Ramon, staring at his elbows and his fingers. It's very strange.
Hey there, Stella. You are you coming home with us?
Why don't you all come
Looking at
home?
Ramón.
Why don't you all come home with me? I have a big house, and it's all curtained. Everyone can have their own bedroom. Ruby and Esther are in the west wing of the house. And they'll be. You won't interrupt them.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. We can definitely we can definitely go home with you. And so
Sounds fine.
Sawyer's gonna like settle up to Ramón and just be like, so you gonna go in her car or should we wait for you?
I'm gonna look to Stella, I guess.
Stella's. I don't think I can drive right now. Can you?
Yeah.
Can y'all drive me back?
Yeah, that'd not be a problem. Shouldn't be an issue.
Who's driving?
I will drive.
Are you gonna drive Stella's car and then I can drive the
Sure.
Escalade? Okay.
All right, so Stella and
everything
Ramon will
gets
go in her car, and Sawyer, Theo, and Tex in the Escalade. As you all climb into your cars, begin driving away. Theo, please make me a rouse check.
Okay. I succeed. I'm good.
Okay. You, Sawyer, and Tex watch Theo suddenly smash her head down onto the dashboard as another premonition rips through your mind. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel easy for you. It feels painful. And you can't help but wonder if this is what Chris's head is like every night for his entire on life. And you see again the upside down house. And once again, you are looking through Harley's eyes as he looks over at several kindred who are staked and laying down in a room. You see the woman he burnt. You see the cross burn on her arm. You see another man. No cross burns on him, but is also staked. You see something else. It's someone very tall. Their eyes are open. They're almond-shaped, completely jet black. Their skin has a bluish tint. They, too, have a stake through their heart. And then you come back to yourself.
Ah. Oh, fuck. Ow.
Are you okay?
This is something that's been happening now. Like Sawyer's kind of got like one hand on Theo's back and is trying to like keep an eye on where Ramon's going.
Oh, it's fine. I'm fine. I just saw everything again.
The house and everything.
Yes, upside down house. Saw Harley looking at several staked kindred. One was really tall and blue.
And an upside down house.
And upside, yeah.
Do you have the picture? In your
Yeah.
text?
I'll pull out my
or-
picture and hand it to Tex.
Tex, you see that very similar to yours. This one is crudely drawn as compared to yours. But it seems that someone has drawn an upside down house. Perhaps Theo, from memory.
Okay. I mean, there's no coincidence. We're vampires, half vampires, if want to get technical. And they pull out their piece or their picture.
Now, when you hold it, Tex, for you, it's in full color. And it is practically jumping out at the page. You can hear noises coming from it. You can see things moving within it. But when you, Theo and Sawyer, see it, it doesn't look as crudely drawn as Theo's. It looks nicely drawn, like it was drawn by a professional artist. It's very detailed, but it is in black and white, and it is certainly not making noise or moving. So Tex, they don't have the reaction you might expect them to have.
Is it muted? Can y'all not? It's
Well, what do you mean muted? I mean, it's a really good drawing. Like you did. Did you draw it?
I mean, we can talk about that later. It's very. I can hear it. I can hear that. Yes, it's unsettling, and that's why I didn't pull it out earlier. But if y'all can't hear it, and it must be a me thing.
Yeah,
which is great.
I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah, we could all be hearing it.
Yeah, no, but I can't hear it. It's a picture, text.
Yeah. I mean, there's.
But it's not good. This is third time this happens. I think that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got it when I was, my little sidestep deal. So if it's something y'all are seeing and that ain't right.
No. No, but it might just be something with your blood, because we all have different things. Like we learned a bunch about the Thin Bloods and how how you and I have different things we can do, and we're all kind of weird. So that just might be a weird thing, but there's nothing wrong with being weird.
Right.
So I do mad scientist shit now, so we can catch up on that when.
Theo,
Mhm.
would you like to taste Texas blood to see if you could learn anything about theirs?
Theo will kind of like turn around fully in the seat. I could, if you want, I could find out more about your blood. If you wanted answers.
I mean, I'm more worried about you. I mean, maybe does that hurt, or was it just a...
Yes, I got the worst migraine of my entire life and unlife at this point. But this was a good distraction. If you want.
Sure. Sure. I love distractions. How does that work?
I just need a drop of your blood. That's okay?
Yeah, I just can't do it. I don't have the
Right. No, that's fine.
We have like a knife or a needle. We were just in like a
Theo,
bar.
you certainly have needles in your mouth.
I do have needles in my mouth. Is it okay if I just, I'm not hungry. Well,
yeah,
not really.
I'm not squeamish anymore. They just gotta like.
And Theo will very gently bite down.
With one fang only
With
is
one
required
fang, yeah.
to pierce just the fingertip, just a taste, just a tip on the tongue. Intelligence and blood sorcery, please, Theo, for a taste for blood.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
And while we roll that, inside the car, Ramón Stella is sitting next to you, and she's holding your hand. She's not holding it like she just wants to hold your hand because she likes you. She's holding it and sort of squeezing it, letting go and squeezing it, and feeling your knuckles. What is your discomfort level at this point?
Probably discomfort. Oh, goodness. On a scale from 1 to 10, he's probably at like a 6, maybe a 7. But it's also, I think part of it is, one, he understands it's a compulsion. So he probably thinks it's a little bit cute that she got this flustered. And then also he's desperate for some type of affection, so this is really fucked up for him. So he's not doing great.
And Stella says to you, I know I'm acting weird. I'm really sorry. I just this happens sometimes with our clan.
It's okay.
I so desperately want to remove your finger.
Okay.
And keep it.
Okay,
I won't though, I promise.
I mean that's not. Would that make you feel better?
Yes, but I don't want to do it. Could I have your
You can
I need something from you.
Yeah.
I just need to possess something of yours.
That's fine.
Could I have your beanie?
I'd prefer you take my finger if that's okay. This wasn't really mine.
She considers it for a moment. She says, "No, I don't want to do that. Maybe you think about it. Give me something you own."
Okay. Yeah. How about? And he will, as safely as possible while driving, reach into his pocket and hand her the now filthy, disgusting bandana that he was once wearing a few nights back.
As soon as you hand it to her, she immediately lets go of your hand. She takes it, and you see her. She doesn't let out a deep sigh of relief. Clearly doesn't have to do that anymore, but she just sort of leans back and closes her eyes, and it's as if she is released from this compulsion. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I am so embarrassed, but also I feel so much better.
It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. You don't need to worry about it. I understand.
Theo, what was your roll?
5.
Excellent. So you, again, just as when you tasted, whose blood did you taste? You tasted Ramon's blood when he went into torpor.
Yes.
So you walk through Tex's blood in your mind. It fills you, blooms in your chest, and the information slowly comes to you as you roll it around on your tongue and feel it move down your throat. You learn a fact that you already knew, that Tex is a daywalker, can be out during the day, and does not feel the pain of the sun, like now all of you do. You also know that Tex has an affinity for something that Ramón can do, something that you watched Chris do, to disappear, to be not perceived should they not move anywhere. You also know that they have the potential, like you used to, like Sawyer does, to manipulate the blood alchemically. You also learn that they have no fangs, which is not something you needed to taste their blood to know. They also, much like Ramon's blood, they have a temper within them. They're sweet tea sweet exterior, deep within. They have a temper in there, an anger ready to burst forth at just the right moment. They also have strange blocks in their blood. You feel that if Tex should walk into a church and attempt to cross themselves, they use the holy water, it would hurt them. And if Tex decided they wanted to head over to Olive Garden and try their breadsticks, well, they might have a bad time with it, as garlic would hurt them. The last thing that you learn through their blood is they have a very specific strain in there. You don't know what it means. You've never heard this word. You haven't heard it mentioned by anyone. That word is chiasid.
That is certainly better than whatever happened before. First of all, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, you're welcome. It's no problem.
Did you know that you have an aversion to holy water and garlic?
No, I didn't.
You should avoid those.
Okay.
Chiasid. Do you know that word?
No, I don't.
Well, it's the same. When I did this to Ramón to make sure he was alive, I heard Ravnos. But for you, I heard Chiasid, so I don't know if that's a clan or a type of blood. My guess would be a clan. I don't know all the clans yet.
With Morgan, you also said La Sombra.
The Sombra. That's
So
a
I'm
clan.
guessing clan. That's a good guess.
So
Those are certainly words that you're saying to me, and I will process them at a later date.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That was fun,
It was
I think.
fascinating.
Everything's better when you're around, for sure, Tex.
Yes. Thank you for coming back.
Yeah. Also, could we get the keys just in case it happens again?
Yes, Tex, you feel it in your pockets and you realize that you took your keys to your car into the weird. So your coterie was left carless.
So sorry. Yeah,
No, it's okay.
It's fine.
You
Okay,
didn't know you were gonna
later.
guide step. Well, right now it's in front of the car we crashed, so it's fine. We don't need it right away.
Okay.
You missed a lot. It's okay.
Yeah.
I did 15 minutes, 3 days. I don't know where
Yeah.
the conversion goes.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
So you all arrive back at Stella's place. You see Stella step out of her car. She has Ramon's old headband for some reason, and you see her put it into her pocket.
When Ramón gets out, Sawyer's gonna catch Ramon's eye and like wiggle their eyebrows at him.
Yeah, he's just gonna look down and just nod.
Stella runs over and opens the front door. Like I said, Ruby's in the back, and it's completely isolated over there. She won't be disturbed. Spread out. Feel free to make yourselves at home. Obviously, there's no food here, and I know you Thin Bloods can eat food. I don't have any here. If you could be out during the day, just don't open any of the bedrooms, please. I'm sure Uber Eats or whatever will come here if you want food. And if you do, don't eat the delivery guy. I got in trouble for that once. Anthony and his coterie got real mad at me.
I could understand why if the delivery dude goes missing from the last known address.
Well, I didn't kill him.
Oh, well, that's good. That's better.
I just forgot to erase his memory before sending him off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's a thing. Thank you for letting us stay here, Stella.
Of course. Do you all sleep in like one giant like pile, or do you have your own bedrooms, or how do you do this?
Usually, it's better when we stick together. But we could always spread out if that's if there's more rooms.
It's up to y'all, really.
Yeah,
I have six bedrooms, and Ruby and Esther are in the back one. Mine's over here, so at least 4 bedrooms.
Why don't we? I know we've said, like, it is better that we stick together, but this is kind of a nice time to have some privacy, and I'll wiggle my eyebrows over at Sawyer. I'm like kind of.
Yeah, no. Yes, that works.
Okay.
Spread
For
out.
all of you, you feel that the sun is coming. A decision must be made quickly. Are you going to fall right here in the foyer? And this is where you're going to sleep, except for Tex, and maybe Tex can drag all your bodies into various rooms. That's how they want to spend their day. And of course, I'm sure Tex is tired, also maybe wants to catch a few Z's. They're allowed to. Not be everyone's daytime guard dog. So what is the plan of action? Are we cuddle puddles, or are we separate rooms?
I'm gonna find a separate room.
Yeah, I'll go with Sawyer. Find a room.
Yeah.
So Sawyer and Theo share one room. That leaves 3 rooms left. Ramón, do you share... So Tex, you find your own room in this house? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Ramón, do you go to your own room, or do you wander into Stella's room?
I'm gonna go to my own room unless invited.
I would say that Stella would not invite you. It'd sort of be that thing in movies where you sort of just, look back, a shoulder shrug. There probably wouldn't be a vocalization of it.
Then yeah, Ramon's probably gonna just awkwardly head into her room and be like, okay. And then just...
I imagine it's very hardly different for Sawyer and Theo. Except Sawyer being the more awkward one.
Yeah. So what do you think about the third room? We could stay there.
That's fine. Yeah.
Like together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, okay, cool.
You enter into that room, and Tex, you enter into one of the larger bedrooms. And here is, it's pretty good. It's got a flat screen TV that's mounted on the wall. It's got a bunch of stuffed animals, nice soft bed. You could kick back and watch some Netflix or whatever it is that Stella has before you pass out. There's also an ensuite bath, so you have the time to take a shower, to, really get into the relaxation, whereas the rest of your friends are just going to pass out. They really don't have a choice. In the clothes that they're wearing. Sawyer with a hole in their chest still.
We're gonna work on that.
Gotta work on that later. And of course, all of you, save for Tex, who no one told, know that you need to go see Hunter tomorrow. Victoria told you to go speak with Hunter because she has brought him, and Galen, I assume, 2 bodies that you all helped her stake. And also you told her about the house and about seeing Frankie inside the house, the upside down house. And she seemed very concerned about that house for reasons you did not ask her and that you do not know. And with that, we are going to end Season 2, Episode 6, Can This Be Forever? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.